us, what was it like, I guess, having a background in Saudi?
You know, like everything happens in your life is either a blessing or a lesson.
Right, I like that.
The mentality is different. The mentality before in the Gulf countries, even in Saudi and UAE, is not the same as now. Whenever I take a decision, I just stick by it, like I will take responsibility for it. Some teachers used to call me Blackie.
Your teachers?
Yes. And I stayed with that company until the war started. Yeah, all hell broke loose. I don't even remember if I finished my fasting during that Ramadan or not.
I've met some who maybe even get a bit offended sometimes and just prefer to be, I'm Sudanese or I relate to being Arab. They don't really like to be called African.
Nothing's like Dubai, honestly.
From London to Lagos to the Middle East, this is Black in Dubai, the place where we unpack the lifestyle, business, everything Black and in between here in the UAE. So today we have a fantastic, beautiful, graceful guest with us with a profound story and something that is so deep that we are going to get into and talk about. She is now here in the UAE after a very interesting background between Saudi, Sudan, and now Dubai. So without further ado, I'd love to introduce the beautiful, gorgeous, graceful Shahd. Hi, darling.
What an introduction. Thank you so much for having me.
Everything that you are, honestly.
Thank you so much.
I think that's so sweet and so delicate, but actually, when we talk more about your story, you have such depth and resilience to you. And, you know, looking at you, I think maybe you're a model, maybe you know, there's all these kind of things that people can possibly see you as. But yeah, you are an engineer by your education, and now you're here in the UAE. So tell us, what was it like, I guess, having a background in Saudi and being from Sudan, and now here in Dubai, it's very different over the last few years. What's that like?
Well, thank you so much for having me, and the fact that you have like so much interest in, you know, getting to know my story and my background. And well, I am Shahd. My name means honey in Arabic.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, sweet like honey. So my introduction was close.
Thank you. I am a lonely child.
Okay.
So it's just me, my mom and dad. Very small family. I was born in Sudan, raised in Saudi, educated, like higher education was in Sudan, and then my career started in UAE. So I graduated as an engineer, electronics engineer, from Future University in Khartoum. And I graduated in 2013. And during my last studies, like the last year, I was so fed up with engineering, honestly. It wasn't my passion anymore, so.
Were there many females on your course for engineering? Is it quite, I'm going to imagine it's quite a male-dominated field.
Basically in Sudan, I don't know if it's an African culture, but there is a Sudanese culture that either you become a doctor or an engineer.
Right.
And I think I've heard so many Africans like stay the same.
Yeah.
It's either this way or that way.
Right.
And to me, I'm not in a medical or biology kind of person at all.
Right.
I was more into like physics and mathematics, and so I was like, okay, I'll just go into one of the engineerings there in Sudan. It's either a civil or communication or electrical.
Right.
So I did electronics, which basically at that time it was a new thing in 2009.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't like it much, but I had to finish it. So I finished it in 2013 and got my degree and started studying for the IELTS. thinking that I would go into higher education somewhere abroad.
Okay.
So I choose the academic module, and I booked my test in Dubai.
Right.
Because I have one of my mom's sister lives here in Ajman. So I booked actually the test in the American University in Sharjah, which is somewhere close to her. I did all of my research, like this center is close to my aunt, and the test cost this, and my cost of living, blah, 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 and all of that.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Still here?
So, yeah, she's still here.
Amazing.
Well, she went back before the war, and she came back again.
Okay.
Long story. So yeah, I came here January 2015 to do the test. And one of my friends who was a senior in college, he works here, so he told me, like, Shahd, if you wanna find an easy job, you can go into call center. And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? I'll try it. And I did speak to my family, like, okay, there is a job. There's like a lot of jobs in call centers, so I thought of, you know, trying to just play the field.
Well, how were your family when you told them that you're not going to continue with engineering, and then you're coming to Dubai, and now you're going to do the center job?
They were in Sudan.
Okay, yeah, but how were they when you told them? Were they like, okay, no problem, or were they like encouraging you to go back into engineering? Were they?
Well, my family is always supportive.
Fantastic.
So, and that gave me the confidence a lot, like, into actually traveling by myself, and you know, have the courage to actually try something in a different country. I've never been to UAE before that.
Right.
And
not even
I've never
auntie. Nothing.
Nothing. Yeah, we always like get our aunties. They come to Sudan for vacations and everything. But I've never traveled alone.
Right.
At that time, I traveled twice during college and after college with my family, but I never traveled alone.
So, growing up in Saudi when you was younger, and then of course coming to the UAE and visiting your aunt and being here now for this call center job, you know, I'm going to assume from what I've heard from a lot of people, so much has changed. Obviously now the UAE is 50 years old. But yeah, what was that like? Was it what you kind of expected, and what your upbringing had been similar to in the Middle East?
The upbringing, I would say it's a little bit different. The Gulf countries are different from Africa in general.
Right.
Yes, we do speak the same Arabic language. It's a different dialect, but the culture itself is different.
Right.
The mentality is different. The mentality before in the Gulf countries, even in Saudi and UAE, is not the same as now.
Right. And a lot's changed in Saudi.
Yes, a lot of change in Saudi. I don't believe the new Saudi, to be honest. At that time when I was growing up, it was entirely different. It was entirely different.
Would you say?
It was a lot stricter, and being a colored person in my school, in elementary school, was a weird thing. Yeah. I don't want to say I was bullied because of my skin tone, but I was.
You were like the other. They treated you
differently, definitely. I was never allowed to be the first in my class because I am black.
Okay.
You know? Some teachers used to call me Blackie.
Your teachers?
Yes. Yes.
Wow. So how was it then with your friends and other students generally? Were they...
It took me a time to actually form friendships. I'm a friendly person. Like, I don't see color or whatever. And kids at that age don't see color either. So I did make friends. I had so many Saudi friends, which obviously it's all girls school. But it took me a while.
So although you spoke different dialects, but you also spoke Arabic and being Muslim, there was still that separation. What was that like for you? And I guess even for your family who may have experienced it, obviously outside of your schooling.
Well, for my family, it was actually, about that incident, when the teacher called me Blackie, I didn't really think about it. I was just a child. Like, I don't know what discrimination is, or why is she calling me this? Like, or why is she treating me different? It was just the way it is. So I didn't think about it. But I came home and I told that what happened to my mom. My mom actually came with me the next day to school, and she fought with the principal and fought with the teacher, and the teacher had to apologize in front of everyone to me because it's not right and all of that. So it gave me just like, after like growing up and being after that being a mature person, I found out there's a lot of people who grow up in Saudi at that time face the same thing, but no one speaks about it.
Right, right.
Even in Saudi, there is a lot of different mentalities in the south, in the north, in Riyadh, in Jeddah. So, and we were in the south, and we moved a lot in Saudi. So the last 5 or 6 years, I grew up in Riyadh.
Right.
So my high school was in Riyadh.
Right.
And in Riyadh, there is a lot of foreigners, expats, a lot of Sudanese. So I found a lot of like my own people in school.
So if that's the case, even then, why do you think so many people didn't speak about it? If there were other people experiencing similar things, also from Sudan or maybe other African countries?
I don't know. Maybe because there are still people in Saudi until now. There's still families working their way through life in Saudi. And you know how it is. If you're in a place that it gives you food on the table, maybe you don't want to speak bad about it. But yeah, and even for me, like me and my dad and my family, we never liked to be an expat like any other place. So when my dad got the chance to go back into his old job in Sudan, immediately we canceled all of our visas and we went back to Sudan.
Right.
Yeah. And then when I got into college and after that, just continued with my life and forgot all about Saudi.
So fast forward to now, it's like completely different. A lot of things have, opened up.
Women are allowed to drive.
I would say women are
Safely.
And, there's things opening up because, of course, there is a new ruler who's very young and has a great vision for the country.
The kingdom,
Have you been back?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
So you haven't seen the changes in the comparison?
No, but I want to. I want to go to Umrah. And actually see, I have a lot of families there. I have my best friends there, and one of my aunts is there. I have aunts all over the world.
Africans, we move over.
We move over. Yeah. From London to Lagos to Dubai, it's everywhere. We're everywhere. So yeah, I mean, it's great. They're having this shift, and they need to because the world is moving forward. They need to move with the world.
Well, I think with so much that's going on with Dubai, a lot of people 10, 20, 30 years ago would think the rulers were crazy. And now that it's at the place that it is, a lot of people are like, how do we get there? How do we do what they're doing? How do we invite tourists? How do we have people live and get educated and all these kind of things? So it's amazing and exciting. I haven't yet been to Saudi myself. Heard lots of different things about different countries in the GCC. But it's amazing to know someone who has been there, has experienced different things, and now you are in Dubai. So the job, or should I say the education, got you to want to come to Ajman, where your aunt was, and eventually you go to have the job in the call center.
Yeah. It was the RTA call center, by the way.
Oh, really?
One of the busiest
call center. Good. And so today, you're no longer in engineering and, of course, not at the call center role. You are in more of an advisory role. But how did that journey for the last 10 years, how did that evolve and what's that like?
I would say my journey, I worked through things to find my passion. It wasn't there from the beginning.
Right.
So the call center job obviously was just a beginning for me. I wouldn't be like working in call center still. I have a thing with the headset. It annoys me a lot.
Right.
So and I cannot do that like six times a day.
Right.
It's just horrible. Not to take anything from people who are still in like working in a call center. They're really brave. But it taught me how to deal with people.
Right.
Whether you have angry customers, you have flirty customers, you have local
Flirty customers.
Of course.
When you're calling now from Ate?
Yeah. You could be shocked.
Oh wow.
You would be shocked. Yeah. You don't always. Well, common sense is not common, so
Definitely.
yeah, you get all type of people, personalities, nationalities. So yeah, it taught me also to have patience.
Right.
And to absorb.
Right.
And to be quick with a lot of like inquiries and so on. So from that, I moved to kind of like an admin role because it's something I'm good at. I'm good with computer. I'm good with sheets. I'm good with reports and so on. So I moved into working as a personal assistant for a managing director in a company. I worked in a year in Abu Dhabi. I wanted to try Abu Dhabi. So
you've been to another Emirates and worked there.
Yeah, the rest of them are like more on a weekend kind of thing. But Abu Dhabi to me was kind of like, oh, I want to see like the capital, how the people are there. Yeah, but nothing's like Dubai, honestly.
I know.
Yeah.
Don't we know it?
Yeah. And Abu Dhabi gets really humid in the summer because of the sea. So it's, yeah,
right.
Couldn't. So I stayed in Abu Dhabi for a year. Moved back again to Dubai. I worked in an advertisement company. I worked in a lot of companies until like I've always been looking for something that it's a good environment.
Yeah.
And good mentorship, leadership, because I like to learn. Like if something that I don't know how to do, I want to do, I want to learn it. So I learn every day. I learn something new.
You know, it's so interesting because I think coming from the UK, sometimes moving around so often doesn't sound like a good thing. It sounds like you're not settled, you're not committed.
Yeah.
That was maybe the old school mentality. Now I think it's very much accepted, especially where like being a digital nomad is a popular thing, or an entrepreneur, and starting and stopping different things to find your feet. And I guess now personal branding and positioning yourself, storytelling, content creating, all these things now have a positive thing. But how was it? Like, you sound like someone who just isn't afraid to start something new.
I'm not.
Your whole life, it seems like you've been in different environments, and if you didn't like something or you wasn't happy, you would just be okay to try something and say, you know what, I'm going to give this a go. It's maybe different to what I know, but I'm going to try that. That's really, really commendable, because I don't think many of us, unfortunately, have, even just generally in society, I'm speaking from a Western perspective, but I don't think that's encouraged enough. And so it's amazing that you could just put your hand to something and go give it a go.
Yes, listen, I mean, even back in the day, it wasn't a good thing. People tell you, oh, don't change your job. When you're changing your job so much, it's not a good thing. Even like, well, recently I became into HR. People are saying that, the old mentality is you don't need to. Why do you have so many jobs in your? It means that you're not stable, you're not loyal, you will leave soon, and all of that. But good people, good leader will tell you that. So they will look at, what did you actually achieve here? What did you achieve here? Don't tell me about your task or responsibility, your job responsibilities. Even if you left a place, what did you achieve there? Or what's the reason? If it's a good reason, then why not?
Yeah. And I think as well, sometimes, especially when I've spoken to other leaders, exactly as you said, like, they know that it's better to, when you're building a team, for example, to fire quickly, because a lot of times people think they can keep someone, train them, hold them hostage even to a point of just, working every hour God sends to get them to do the thing.
Yeah.
But actually, if this person's not a good fit, it's better to fail faster and fail forward and fire them so that you find the new recruit.
Yeah.
And again, high turnover doesn't look great for a company either.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's better to do it that way than you hold on to staff that actually could be damaging and bringing the team down. And not a lot of people talk about that side of it or that mentality either from a leadership perspective when you're building the team. So yeah, I agree. I think having the determination to try something new and still keep going and not get bogged down even by what other people are saying, because I didn't even think you were going to say that. Do you know what I mean? But you seem so soft and sweet and delicate, like maybe those comments would stop you, but it didn't stop you at all. You just was like, okay, you're going to give that opinion, but I'm going to go forward anyway, which is amazing.
It takes a hard-headed person.
You don't seem hard-headed at all. You seem like a
I
soft
am.
flower.
Kai, believe me, I am a hard-headed person.
Really?
Yeah, I am very stubborn. I'm very stubborn. And maybe that's why whenever I take a decision, I just stick by it. Like, I will take responsibility for it.
Good.
Yeah, I heard a really a nice slogan in the company I used to work before. Like, we hire for attitude and we train for skills. So basically, it's better to build a culture than actually just to hire someone for their experience or their skill set or their qualifications. Qualifications now don't mean anything.
I know.
And
you have to be able to have transferable skills. Whatever you're doing, take that and apply it to something else.
Yes.
Completely different, because everyone's experience is unique.
Yeah.
And if you can't transfer it to something else and take what you learned, then we can all read a million books, but actually implementing it is the thing.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Sorry, just on what you said, I don't want to lose it. You said the company slogan was, they hire for attitude but train for skills. That's a good one for the books. I'm going to write that down. So you've worked across 3 different Emirates. You've been Ajman, you've been Abu Dhabi, you've been Dubai, you've had family here. And at some point you now come from HR into an advisory role where you are right now. What has it been like as a Black woman, as an African woman, working in the UAE, living in the UAE, seeing the evolution? What does that look like for you?
Wow, that's a big question. Honestly, there is a huge and impressive Black movement right now in UAE. The country is recognizing the African culture all over.
Absolutely.
From the king and queens exhibit in the Louvre to all of the cookout things here to there is also Al Multaqa Orchestra in Sharjah. It's an all African orchestra, including a lot of Sudanese from Beit Al Oud. It's the African movement here is helping us and actually empowering us to dream more. And it makes me feel that you can do anything you want.
Right.
There's no stopping you.
Was it like that before, or do you think that it's more like that like today?
It's more like that now.
What is the reasoning behind that shift?
Well, UAE is trying to be the pioneer in fintech, in arts, in transportation, in whatever they're doing. So when a lot of, and especially after Expo, there is a lot of the African culture was exposed more,
of course,
and people are coming more to show their what their country can bring. So we see a lot of South African lawyers,
Really?
and a lot of entrepreneurs from Nigeria.
A lot. From Nigeria.
Yes, a lot of entrepreneurs from Nigeria. I was talking to one of our CEO is South African. I told him, I think you're the only South African I know who is not a lawyer.
Really?
I mean, our friend Lorna is a lawyer.
Yes?
I mean, yeah, and it's so impressive to me.
Yeah.
There is a lot of Sudanese doctors who stayed here during COVID, and so many new talents that came from Africa. So, given that the UAE is trying to attract new businesses, new technologies, AI, fintech, crypto, whatever it is, they're attracting, new talent.
Absolutely.
And we have that talent.
And that's the thing, like, so being from the UK and from a Caribbean household, I've definitely seen more of that. And over the years, I think I met a lot of Sudanese people who have been born and raised here or moved when they were very young. So some have been here for like 20, 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, what were you doing here 40 years ago when there was nothing, right?
Yeah.
So it's so incredible to meet people who have literally seen the city come from sand and, a complete desert to the city that it is now that everybody sees and talks about. And of course, the whole UAE that's come together. But it's so interesting because I think me coming from London, I didn't really know much about Dubai 15 years ago. More so in the 12-year region, I kind of knew someone who had visited. My mum had been. It seemed like a great holiday destination, but it just wasn't the place that I thought anybody was really living as such.
Yeah.
I just thought the people who are born and raised there are there. And
Are there, yeah.
Now I've come to realize over my 8 years that a lot of Sudanese have been born and raised here or moved from Sudan at some point. So but it's definitely attracting a lot more diverse people from all over, whether you're from Western places or anywhere across the diaspora. And I just think it's so interesting, especially as you touched on Expo. Expo 100% attracted so much more people. 1 minute, no one even knew if it was going to happen off the back of COVID.
Yeah, COVID.
The next minute, it started and it's booming and it went on for 6 months. And I know a lot of people who didn't even go, actually. I went several times and honestly, it was so impressive. It was almost like entering the Expo and the whole village. It was like going through the airport. Like, it was so good security, well organized. And again, off the back of COVID, I just think a lot of people wrote it off as something. We don't know what it is. We're not going. We don't understand.
Yeah, you don't know what you expect.
Exactly. But the expos actually happen and different countries host it around the world. So the fact that the UAE were hosting it that year,
then after COVID, it was very courageous.
So many countries decided to come here, shout loud and proud about where they're from, whether it was, Nigeria, whether it was I'm from Grenada, the Caribbean. So many countries represented themselves beautifully. And then a lot of people came and stayed, maybe for business, maybe just even realizing like myself, wow, people actually live here. And that has transitioned into so much more initiatives now. So I 100% agree. There is a lot more art. There's a lot more AI, tech, fintech, crypto. There's so many things that are booming right now and they are attracting people from all over. So I don't know if you even knew, like the tourism board actually has a Africa page that promotes and welcomes and encourages the different African businesses here and stuff like that as well. So interesting. Yeah, it's good. And have you found that positivity through the different roles and corporate side of life here as well?
I found my love for what I'm doing right now as well. I always say that I am an HR by heart, although I'm not working as an HR right now. But I fell in love with that during my first corporate job was actually in Sudan. I moved back home after COVID.
Okay,
it was a very difficult time. For everyone, I guess, here. So I moved back to Sudan. I found a good job in a company that I didn't know nothing about. Turned out to be one of the biggest international companies in the world.
Wow.
And then yeah, I met a lot of great people, great leaders. I worked with amazing managers. I fell in love with people practice there.
Right.
I feel like I need to be, this is my place, that I want to actually affect people in a positive way.
Right.
Like HR is just not only paying salaries, it's much, much more than that. And I stayed with that company until the war started, and we had to be displaced into a different country.
Right.
So my positivity and my love for my job came from actually going back to my home country and working there with my people. I've never worked in Sudan before. I graduated from university and I came to Dubai immediately. So, and I would never think that I would actually work in Sudan before. My dad always used to tell me that, you know, you're meant to go places.
Yeah.
This is not your place. This cannot be your place. You're meant to go places, other places. You need to travel and do that and do this. So, so I traveled.
Yeah.
But I had to go through a lot of jobs to actually find my passion.
Right.
And that's the thing. What happened in Sudan and coming up to me returning to UAE is what makes me like who I am today as a person.
Right.
Like everything, you know, like everything happens in your life is either a blessing or a lesson.
Right. I like that.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and sometimes like it's a transition into where you're supposed to be, like where you're supposed to go. So I do find right now I do find the peace, even if I have a very hectic day or I'm so stressed or anxious or whatever. I do find some peace. Like it would be okay.
Of course.
You've been through worse. It will be fine. This is not the end of the world. It's just a bad day. It's not a bad month or a bad year. So, yeah, a lot of jobs in UAE and me going through everything in Sudan and coming back here. It definitely, yes, it gave me a positive attribute or a look. Definitely gave me a positive look because I consider myself survived. I made it.
Of course.
You know? And I was blessed to actually, you know, my family's okay, I'm okay. And that definitely affected how I deal with people now at work, how I deal with people in general in Dubai. So yeah.
So I'm just listening to you and I'm so like mesmerized. You were talking there and you mentioned your dad and just so many things and you touched on the war. And so I'm listening to you, but I'm just thinking someone who's been through so much and has been able to go through so much change and resistance, you are still so soft and delicate.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So I'm listening intently, but I don't want to skip past some of what you said because, you know, I think there is such bravery for anyone who leaves home and comes abroad and lives anywhere. You know, it doesn't have to just be Dubai, but you've gone through so many transitions multiple times and settled multiple times. And that doesn't sound like it's made you fearful of doing it again at any point. But for those of us who don't really know much about what's happening in Sudan, there is a very deep, powerful, political, painful story there. And I would love for you, if you don't mind, to just let some of our listeners and viewers know about what is happening in Sudan. And although there is a deep history, perhaps where we kind of are today. And if you would like to, just tell us about that time that we went back from the UAE for COVID and then the war breaks out. So what's the story, please?
Okay. Well, I'm not a political person in any way. I don't understand politics or I don't even take sides. what happened was that 15th April 15th, 2023. Okay? It was a Saturday. Bombing, air flights, Air Force, sorry, a lot of gunshots
Out of nowhere.
out of nowhere in the morning.
Wow.
From 8, I think, 8 a.m. It was during Ramadan. It was actually during, it was the 3rd week of Ramadan.
So this was in a particular part of Sudan, or this was like going
This
on
was in
across the
Khartoum,
country? Okay.
in the capital where we live and work, and that's where you live inside. So yeah, 2 parties. Well, there were 1 party at one time, but 2 parties started to
Political parties, military parties?
military and another militia, if you should say, but it was a part of the military at some point.
Right.
I don't know what happened. And I don't want to even like assume anything because I don't know. No one knows. But yeah, all hell broke loose that day and didn't stop.
Okay.
I don't even remember if I finished my fasting during that Ramadan or not. Did we fast? We didn't fast. I don't even remember. So me and my mom, we were. My dad went to out of the state to visit his sisters in Al Jazeera state, which is a different state. And at that time when it happened, me and my mom and my dog, we were just in the house. So we were actually just me and my colleagues and friends. We were started talking and on WhatsApp on our group and just checking on each other and what is the news and all of that. And the electricity went down for a long time, and as well, water stopped at some areas in Khartoum, and Durman and Bahri as well. So our capital is kind of like a triangle.
Okay.
Yeah, there was very horrible areas in Khartoum that you cannot even go out of like your house, or people hearing a lot of stuff, especially the people who live around the airport and next to the general headquarters, which is surprisingly, it's all in the middle of the city. Yeah, I mean, we like me and my mom, we waited for we were just cramped up in a room inside of the house, just away from the doors, away from windows or anything. It was very scary.
You know,
It was very, very
scary. I can't even imagine what that could have been like. And I'm not going to pretend to even scratch the surface of what I think it could have felt like. But the fear in both yourself and your mom and just, I mean, was there anything that happened like this previously in your lifetime that you even knew what to do in that moment?
No.
Wow.
No. I've personally, I've never experienced it.
Right.
And I don't think something like that happened. Well, we used to have a lot of protests, but it was all just they closed 1 or 2 bridges. There are people are protesting in the street, and that's it.
Right.
You know? And even when that happened, we all thought like, okay, so this is gonna be for like what, 1 day, 2 days, and then they will cool off. Everything will be back. Okay. It continued for like a week. Okay, fine, a week. Maybe just it will be finished like a month or 2. So yeah, we're going into 2 years now, and
My gosh.
2 years and a month.
And there is no
2 years and a month.
like end in sight.
Yeah. Look, I mean, I consider what me and my mom in the area that we live in, it wasn't that bad.
Okay.
Yes, we were still hearing a lot of stuff, a lot of bombing and everything, but there was I believe that there was a lot of it was horrible for a lot of people who are close to, you know, the central area. And at that point, I was not thinking of like, oh, this is going to be ending soon, or we should be patient. Or it was like, no, I spoke to my dad. You need to come back.
Yeah.
And we need to leave.
Okay.
While we can.
Yeah.
So 5 days into this, my dad finally made it. Because all of the roads coming to in and out of Khartoum were the roads like where the militia were there. There were roads that the military were there, and it was dangerous for someone actually to travel with their car. They could stop you, take your car on gunpoint,
of course,
and just drive with your car, you know, or take your phone, or go through your phone, or actually kill you. You never know. And it happened to a lot of people.
Wow.
It happened to a lot of people. Just trying to get out of Khartoum, it happened to a lot of people there during the gunpoint, taking your money, your phones, your laptop, whatever you have is valuable. Your gold, your jewelry, whatever.
Okay.
So even going out, it was a risk, but you know, alhamdulillah, we made it. Like, my dad came.
So after 5 days, thank God.
Yeah, after
you and your mom.
And the next day, immediately, my mom, dad, and I, and our dog, we went outside of. We had to take a long way to go outside of Khartoum. We went to another city called Shendi. We stayed there for 2 days to get petrol in the car.
Wow.
And we left our dog there because we could not take him with us. We left him in a farm. He died after months, passed away after a month from that. And we continued our way through the north up to Egypt border.
Wow.
And from there we had to leave our car. And a funny thing is, we could not find a bus to take us through the borders. So me and my dad, actually, the three of us, we just took our chances and just crossed by foot.
Hey,
I swear to God. We crossed by foot. And then at some point, we passed the checkpoints and everything.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, you're not going to pass that. There is a lake between, after you pass the Egyptian border, there's a lake. Then you have to take a ferry. And everybody was like, where is your bus? Where is your car? Why are you on foot? It was like, you're never going to find a bus. And we just checked past the last checkpoint. And then we found a bus. My dad was like, please just take us through the ferry. We'll pay you. We're only three people. And it was like, yeah, sure.
No way.
Yeah, it was, you know, by
God's grace. There were a lot of people trying to do what you were doing, or were they just saying, we're going to stick with the bus or the car or something?
mean, I don't know. At some point, we were just very exhausted and tired. We wanted to just, you know, leave.
I mean, you all sound so determined, of course, and you are risk takers.
Yeah, at that point,
for your life.
At that point, there is no going back.
Of course.
So you just need to move forward. Upward and forward.
Yeah, just like we're gonna take the chance. We're gonna risk it. We're gonna go.
Yeah. And I was like, I felt the exhaustion when we actually reached Cairo. This one, I was like, oh, I need to sleep. My body hurts. But all of that was just like, we just need to, because we have a house in Cairo.
Amazing.
So
wow.
Yeah, we got that like years ago. So we were just like, okay, let's just go there.
Thank God.
Yes, let's just go there. It's a safe place. It's ours. Let's just go there.
Yeah.
So yeah, we reached Aswan, which is, by the way, a beautiful city. It's full of the Nubian people, which is kind of like a mix between us and the Egyptians.
Okay.
So from Aswan, my mom was like, oh, okay, can we just stay the night here, and in the morning, let's take the train The train is 12 hours to Cairo. I was like, we're not staying, sleeping at all. Let's just take the train. You can sleep in the train.
Yeah, just keep going.
Yeah, we took the train. It was early morning, and we reached Cairo. We went straight to our house, and then we were able to sleep. No? 2 days. Yeah. 2 days later, I took my mom to a massage place.
You needed more than a massage.
The lady was like, "What happened to you? Why is your body like this?"
Wow. All that trauma, all
Yeah,
that
everything.
exhaustion,
Everything, Harry. Yeah, everything. So yeah, it's until this day, I don't think anyone actually realized or believe like, "Oh, we went through all of that."
And
It's like a
still-
nightmare, and still it's going.
I was gonna
Looks
say,
like a nightmare.
you said you're a survivor, and you absolutely are. You are so humble and gracious and eloquent in how you're sharing this. No, I'm so grateful, because I am in awe, actually. And I honestly, I'm listening to you, but I can't believe it, because there's still so much I want to ask you. But, you know, how are you and your family? I mean, there's just the three of you, a small family.
Yeah.
But how are you? You know, it's still ongoing. You are here in the UAE, still moving forward with your life and your career. But how do you now, outside of Cairo and the massages, how do you process?
Yeah, well,
You were even saying you wasn't sure if you finished Ramadan or not at that time.
I don't remember.
I'm guessing there's a lot of things that you probably forgotten or blocked out or suppressed.
I'm sure there's a lot of things that all of us suppressed just to get to where it's safe and move on with our life and try not to think of the things that we lost, our houses, our clothes, our cabinets, our memories, or everything. And I think, I mean, this is a thing, yeah, with, again, I don't know if it's an African thing or it's just us thing, but we don't tend to talk about our feelings often, not at all. And I think, I mean, for me, it started with the anniversary on the 15th of last April 15. I start everything that happened start playing on my head nonstop.
Wow.
And it started affecting me until today, but I'm trying to push through it.
Yeah.
As I'm sure that a lot of us are feeling the same or feeling something weird that we don't recognize or we don't know what that feeling is, and we don't know how to deal with it. We can't name it as trauma or PTSD. We can't name it because we don't know what's that like.
Right.
So this is a thing that I promised myself that I will deal with it, because I know it's a problem and it's affecting my day-to-day,
Right.
And so life.
Outside of your family, and I'm so grateful that you're even open to talk about it here, but outside of your family, are you able to speak with other friends, maybe who are from there, who maybe went through it as well, or even who were just from Sudan? Because I guess they may also have friends and family who are still there or who also left, to maybe try to express it, or maybe even therapy. Is that something maybe you've explored?
I have explored some therapy, and I'm starting actually.
And that's also not something that's in the Black community, community, Caribbean community.
Look, I haven't even, like, about these feelings, I haven't talked to my friends who live that with me.
Right.
It's not something we do, and it's not
like
easy.
Unspoken.
It's an unspoken
unspoken rule.
Because, I mean, for me, it was just creeping
In the back of
my mind. At one day, I woke up. I remember it was a Friday. I woke up. I was okay. Took a shower, you know, ready to go to work, my outfit and everything. So on the drive to work, I start crying for no reason. Came to the office, I came early, had my coffee, sat down, okay, said astaghfirullah, okay, let's begin this day, Jum'ah Mubarak and everything, okay, let's just start. I couldn't do anything. I was crying the whole day with absolutely no reason. People are asking me like, Shahd, what's going on with you? Something happened, someone is bothering you, and I was like, I don't know.
You didn't have the words.
I don't know what I was feeling. I was just crying nonstop. And then afterwards, I couldn't. I was working, but I wasn't focused. I just wanted to go home and be under my blanket and watch something and not think. So yeah.
At work, do you find you have maybe like a safe person you can speak to, or?
I do have a few.
And it sounds like they're giving you some space, because I know we've spoken about this a little bit off camera. So it sounds like they're giving you some time and some space, because again, there is so much happening in Dubai. It's so busy, and they love what you're doing as the Arabic speaker on the team. But yeah, it does sound like you have time and grace to figure that out and process that, because I don't think anyone could really ever think or imagine what you're going through. It's a very unique story.
I do understand. I do appreciate that they try to understand what I'm going through, and they're trying to. That's the thing, So I don't really try to take my emotions at work, because I don't want to
Look like a native?
or let them treat me as a victim. I hate that.
Well, you are absolutely a survivor. You are so humble and so sweet. And that's just not my opinion. Honestly, the more I hear is just the more that I am so convinced and certain. And you are so brave and such a risk taker, of course, to want to fight for your dreams and your life and move forward. Your dad is absolutely right. You are such a traveler. But I'm so glad that you all, of course, have made it out safely, and you were able to still come back, not just to here, but to anywhere, whether that was Egypt or somewhere that you were to stay. But I kind of want to touch on a little bit more about that. You know, you said you don't want to be seen as a victim in the workplace or otherwise. And I love that about you. I want to understand a little bit more about the crossroads between being Sudanese, being African, being Black, being a female, and how that relates to Arab culture. I mean, you touched on it a little bit in the beginning when you were talking about your upbringing in Saudi, but being Muslim and speaking Arabic, being in the Middle East, what does that look like for you in terms of how you identify yourself? Because I've met a lot of Sudanese people who were maybe born and raised here, or who have moved here at some point. At some points, it's maybe been North Africans or other East Africans, maybe Somali, sometimes Ethiopian, who strongly identify with their home country. But somewhere along the line, some people don't want to be called African or don't associate with that. Other people don't necessarily want to be called or labeled Arab, or don't associate with that. Or someone somewhere on either side doesn't accept the person for that label or how they see themselves. Does that make sense? Me coming from the West, again, you know, you see Black people and I'm like, oh, Black people, great. And I'm going by race or skin color, of course. But living in the Middle East, I've understood there is such a complexity, especially when I meet like South Africans. That's not just a simple clear cut one or the other story. There's a lot of depth there. And of course, when I meet someone like yourself, you know, I see you, I hear you, and you know, we have the membership and lots of things in common. But my Western story is not your story, of course. So the intersectionality of where all of those meet, do you identify as an Arab woman or an African woman or both? The intersectionality of where all of those meet, do you identify as an Arab woman or an African woman or both?
I definitely don't say Arab. To me, Arab is not. To me, Arab is. It's just a language. It's not a race. I definitely say I'm a Sudanese. People ask, where's that? I would say in Africa. So, yeah, I usually say I'm African. Well, I say Sudanese first and then African. Me speaking Arabic is just because I think, well, there's a lot of people in Sudan who doesn't speak Arabic.
Oh, wow, really?
Yes.
Okay.
We have more than 600 dialects.
600.
Yeah.
Wow, that's more than Nigeria. I think Nigeria has about 500 different dialects.
Yeah, a lot.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
How many languages do you speak?
No, only two. English and Arabic.
English and Arabic.
Yeah.
I mean, that's good.
My mom's
Mine is English and English. And I know a bit of sign language, British sign language. That's it. And even then,
well, you know,
I know a few signs. I can't remember lots from but I am, again, in awe of so many people. You come to the UAE and everyone's from somewhere else. Loads of expats. And a lot of expats, if you're not English or American, we are outnumbered because, you know, Germans, Russians, Italians, French, loads of people are bilingual. And sorry, Brits, that's just not our thing. So it's amazing we can go to most places in the world and have a conversation and pick up, you know, small words here and there. But it's a very lazy habit to have because we don't pick up many other languages. Whereas people like yourself, at some point in time, even if it was not your mother tongue, I find a lot of people pick up another language at some point. So
yeah,
that's incredible.
Yeah. I think it's due also to that we have a lot of tribes in Sudan.
What tribe are you from?
You wouldn't know it, but my father is called Lahawi.
Lahawi.
Yeah,
That's
from
right.
Al Jazeera State.
Ah.
My mom is from Mahas, which is in the northern state, and they speak a dialect that it's related to the old Nubian dialect.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm a mixed of, you know.
So different tribes, but they would understand the same language.
No.
Ah,
I don't understand my mom when she speaks in that dialect.
okay.
My dad doesn't understand it. We don't speak it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But has your mom still kept it through her?
Yeah, she still talked to my aunts about it. My grandma, God rest her soul.
That's such a rich, deep thread.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
We're so different. We have a lot of different cultures within Sudan. So
why is it then, do you think, obviously I know you identify as African, but why do you think it is then that other Sudanese, or maybe, in fact, let's just speak about Sudanese, why do you think that some maybe do prefer to be classed as Sudanese/Arab? And even, you know, I know you can't speak for other people who divide, but I've met some who maybe even get a bit offended sometimes and just prefer to be, I'm Sudanese, or I relate to being Arab. They don't really like to be called African, although it clearly is in Africa. Like, have you come across that before? And what do you think that's about?
Definitely, yeah, definitely. And I don't know why, but I'm proud of who I am. I like being called African. I take pride of it. But there's a look. So
do you think maybe it's to do with generations? Like, is it?
I think it's a generational
versus a newer mindset, maybe.
I think it's a generational thing because I know for a fact that a lot of our fathers and uncles, they traveled to the Gulf many years ago. They have settled there. They're not really connected to the motherland.
Right.
I mean, they go to Sudan,
Right.
okay, on vacations, they come back and all of that. But even you see in their kids, like my generation, some of them, they don't speak the Sudanese dialect.
Right.
It's a more of a Khaliji kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And which I lost it the minute I stepped into Sudan, honestly.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know why. I mean, I'm proud of I'm proud of my skin color. I'm proud of my Arabness and Africanness.
Beautiful complexion.
Thank you. I think we're the same.
Skin.
We're the same. I think so. I was talking about this to my South African manager earlier, that we were talking about my preference with men and all of that
In dating.
And he was like, I know for a fact that you don't like white people. I was like, no, don't say that. Just never been with a white man before. So
Hey.
but maybe they don't like a black person. He was like, to me, well, Shahd, you're not really black.
That's
Well, you're African, but you're not really black. I was like, what do you think black is? He was like, well, darker than you. And he was like, no. No.
That's what he said?
Yeah, yeah.
It's so interesting what people see and define as black.
Yeah.
And I found that so interesting and more complex being here.
Right?
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess
To me, black is just
South African, so maybe that
African or Caribbean or whatever. That's black is black, you know?
that's it. That's
Whatever the shade is, I guess.
precisely.
Right?
Are you brown or not?
I mean,
That's me.
what is brown? Brown to me is black. Look, there you see what, yeah. It's just
Before we wrap up, I kind of want to touch, we've talked about so many of your different careers and things that you've gone into, and of course your amazing, incredible journey of resilience. Now you are in an advisory role at Knightsbridge Group. So can you tell us a little bit about that, and maybe speak to anybody who may be thinking about coming to Dubai and how Knightsbridge can help?
Of course. Yes, so Knightsbridge we are a law firm. We do specialize in so many different things,
Right.
including immigration by investment, corporate services in UAE and outside of UAE as well, especially in Europe.
Right.
So basically, if you're, we do also litigation and courtroom and all of that. But we do have other ventures that is very interesting to us.
Right.
The second citizenship part, the EU residencies, wills, power of attorneys, foundation.
Which is so important here, actually, because
Yes.
I know there's obviously law firms for obviously legal matters.
Yes.
But I think, especially as expats, so many people don't think about wills and plans and pages and processes.
You would be surprised, yeah.
Being away from home, we need to do that even more.
Yes, exactly.
No matter where you are, but being away from home, you know, unfortunately, I've known of some people who've had some tragic incidences here.
Yeah.
Some people who have died in the UAE. And getting the person back home or having their family come to repatriate them.
Yeah.
As you know, it's a process, right? And when you don't have a will or any plans or processes in place, it makes it even worse. So
yeah, legacy planning is a huge thing, which is actually, when I joined Knightsbridge, is the first time I've heard of it. The people don't really actually think about planning wills or whatever. So yeah, we take care of that. You do power of attorneys as well.
but also visas and business setup.
Yes, business setup here. We do all of the golden visa, all of the categories, I mean. And corporate structure, investor visa, all kind of licenses, free zone to mainland, to DIFC or ADGM or...
And what's the main thing that you now consult and advise in?
I'm mainly advising about second citizenship, EU residencies. I know what could work for you, not work for you, according to your budget, what will give you more access. It's really interesting. It's a very it's a very exciting industry.
Right.
I've never worked in this industry before, but I've become to love it more and more because my passport doesn't take me a lot of places. So if I had that kind of funds, I would definitely take on a second citizenship.
Right.
Not to lose my citizenship. I would never lose my citizenship, but it just gives me the opportunity gives me the freedom of travel, gives me more opportunities. And hopefully my passport will be stronger one day, but for now it's just, it is how it is.
Yeah,
right.
And of course, with some of the political strains and
Yes.
history, it's not.
Yes.
not
And unfortunately, we see a lot of, good people are struggling with their nationality and, So yeah, we do. We take care of that. We help people also set up their business in Europe, in UK.
Wow.
Although I don't see a lot of people relocating to UK, but yeah, if they do, it's fine. We can manage that. Yeah, a lot of people are moving to Dubai actually,
Of course.
and some people considering permanent residency in Europe, which is a good thing. I mean, yeah, it's we have a lot of ventures, and we started doing an HR shared services as well, which I'm taking care of it, from recruitment side to.
So, like, if you have a small business, then your company can help people with HR services.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah, we can do that, and I'm very proud of it actually. So yeah, it's we kind of like a boutique company, but with huge heart. And do everything.
A huge heart, just like you.
Thank you.
Just like you.
Stop it, guys.
Shahd, this has been so good. There's so much still I want to touch on, but I know we've been talking for
I
some
know we've been
time.
talking for a long time.
And I know so much more about you now. I knew some stuff.
Thank you.
Obviously, little conversations we've had here and there over the last, how long we known each other now? Like a year and some?
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, way before, and then you left.
Yeah.
Came back. And so, I'm glad to have you part of the community, and I'm so grateful that I got to have this chat. So thank you for taking the time.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your incredible story with the listeners and the audience, because you have such a voice, a powerful voice, a powerful story. And although you speak very gently and eloquently, there is such a fire within you. And I was so serious. Why are you getting embarrassed? It's the truth.
I'm shy.
Have you heard myself speaking the last hour? Girl,
I never heard myself speaking.
you are incredible, and
Thanks. I appreciate it.
you're like a tiny I don't even know what to call it. Just a bee that's buzzing around, but if a bee stings you, it can.
Oh my God. Okay.
So that's not a bad thing.
Yeah,
Like
okay,
is the analogy. Sometimes the smallest, most delicate things are the ones that cause the most impact. So
Thank you.
I've loved it. Thank you so much. We are gonna keep in touch, and of course we will let everyone at home know how they can reach you and how they can hear more and get in touch, either for your personal story or for knowing more about your role at Knightsbridge and the stories that you have shared today. So if you have loved what we've been talking about, if you've loved this episode, if you want to know and see more, please tell a friend to tell a friend. Go listen, go like, go subscribe. We appreciate that you've stayed with us all the way up until this point. And if there's anything you want us to talk about, anyone you'd like to see, anything you want us to discuss, feel free to comment. We read all of these comments, and we actually love to know what you would like us to talk about next. So without further ado, tell a friend to tell a friend, and come back next time. We'll see you. This is Black in Dubai podcast. Bye-bye.
Hi, this is Shahd, and this is Black in Dubai podcast. You can find me on LinkedIn as Shahd Ahmed and on Instagram as Shahd_Knightsbridge Group.